Alright, well let's check out the back end. So again, pretty dirty. Got a lot of caked on grease on here, and I'll be taking care of all that. We've got this bracket, so this is going to need to be repaired. This isn't right. This looks like a cutoff switch, kill switch, but you can see it's not even touching it. In fact, this could get caught up and could rip that leg off. And it looks like somebody re-welded this thing on here. So what I will probably end up doing is just hacking that whole thing off, starting over. Put something brand new on there, a little bit more durable than that. Let's look inside here. Look at all that good stuff in there. Can you see that? Oh yeah. That looks tasty, doesn't it? Is that a meatball? Meatball and spaghettis? Okay. Right here, this is an adjustment. Like I said, probably nothing I'm ever going to touch. But this would adjust minor deflection in your blade. So if you think about a blade being straight, when you put more pressure on it, it's going to deflect the blade, you know, in or out. It'll be concaved or convexed. And that's what this adjustment's there for. But I don't see any reason for me to ever have to mess with it. Probably something I wouldn't do anyways. Probably if you had the blades repaired on this or replaced, that's something that you kind of leave to an expert to handle. So here's all the hydraulic tubes. They're filthy dirty. I'll be cleaning those up. I'll be sure to wrap these really good. I'll probably wrap all this stuff really well so it doesn't get painted. You don't want your hydraulic tubes covered in paint or your electrical wires. And see this, you know, this is the kind of stuff that I don't care for. It looks like somebody broke a screw in there, but you know, just all this little stuff. Fix that, close that up, get these wires ran, you know, properly and nice and neat. This part right here looks pretty new, but you can see they didn't put it back and bolt it down where it's supposed to. I don't know if they're having some clearance issues or they just couldn't budge the they want to kink the hoses here. I'm not sure, but this is probably something I'll be fixing as well. Okay, we've got some more stuff here that I don't know what it's for. We've got this quick disconnect here and got something here. These look like you, I don't know if you would put hydraulic fluid through this or you put some kind of hydraulic pack onto it. I'm not real sure. So if you know what these are for, let me know. So it's got some kind of manifold and it actually does go into the machine right in there. I don't know what it does. I wonder, and this is just a quick guess, but I wonder if this has something to do with the backstop. If it's hydraulically powered and you just do a quick disconnect back here, and then that's what operates the backstop. I don't know, it's just a guess. You can see here is this is supposed to spin, and this is what tells you the measurement of the backstop. This thing kind of acts like a tachometer, and it will tell you the distance. If you have it set up properly, this elbow would come down and come all the way down to the backstop, and as it spins, it's telling you the distance. So let's see if we have any goodies in here. We got a little bit. I don't see any meatballs though. This one looks to be in good shape. This one looks like it's been replaced. It may be the only one that's working. and you've got your stop here. Notice how much lower this stop is. So this one's really low and the other one's really high, but if you look at the angle of that blade, it cuts at an angle. So this would be the leading edge. Every time you load something, you would be loading it in from this side. You don't want to load this improperly. You don't want to load it from the wrong side. You always want to load from the leading edge. And so this edge, what it does is this edge would cut first, just like a pair of scissors. It'll cut first, and then once it makes that initial cut, it'll just start ripping through all the way down. And so that's the leading edge, and this would be your trailing edge, and it's a lot higher. You can see the distance on that. It's a lot higher. So I'll have to test and see if this thing is still working. If they replace the other one, it makes me question if this one is even working. If they're just relying on that single one to cut the machine. You can see a lot of work to do here, a lot of cleaning to do. You can see the feet on this thing are just, they're massive. That looks like 2-inch steel there. Yeah. Looks like the shear had a little accident on itself. There you go. And the other end, this end looks a lot cleaner. Look how much cleaner all that looks. Probably because it's sitting underneath the electrical box here. But that's a lot nicer. This tube, it looks kind of iffy. Nothing wrong with it, just doesn't look that great. Got another hole right here. And yeah, you can see the motor in there. There it is, just tucked away, it's hiding. That is a big motor. I believe this is a 30 horsepower motor. But that thing is a beast. Let's see if we can get on top of this thing and take a look at the top. I've never really looked at the top of one of these, but it should be interesting. So let's get up here. Use our handy dandy handle here. All right. So we have this box here. And I have really no clue what it does. Looks like maybe some more blade adjustments or something. Right here is where the hydraulic piston clamps to. You can see the hydraulic hose. You can see the hydraulic right in there. Looks like some Adam Booth type stuff. Here is where they clamped onto, put those big U-bolts. I'm pretty surprised that you've got just these two pieces here to lift 20,000 pounds, and these are 1 inch, looks like about 1 inch a piece, 1 inch plate, welded solid. Two locations to lift up 20,000 pounds. Not only that, but I was actually kind of surprised the type of chain they used. So the type of chain they use is the same chain I used on my lathe, sitting behind us right here. Actually, it's sitting on there right now. That chain right there is what I used to lift that, and that weighs 6,000 pounds. And I was questioning myself, is that enough? So it definitely is rated. It's rated chain, so I was okay. But I was just really kind of questioning myself, making sure, is this good enough? And if you look at that chain there on the hoist, it's pretty thick too, but it's not crazy, and that's 5 tons, but it is doubled over, so. But you know, the chain they used, they connected to these two locations, and I thought it was kind of thin. I mean, for 20,000 pounds, I thought the chain was kind of thin, but they did wrap it several times, so it worked. I'm sure they know what they're doing. Okay, this is the top of the arm. I don't really know exactly how it works, but this arm comes down and it kind of guides the blade, or I think it's the actual bed that the blade is attached to. So here's the other fixturing point. There's the other hydraulic down there. Looks like we have some goodies tucked in the corner. The top of the hydraulic pivot. All this stuff looks good. Then we have another block with some piece of junk welded to it, so I don't really know what this is all about. I don't know if they needed to adjust it. It looks like you have a ratchet that'll fit right in the top of this thing, and this is a spanner wrench that I guess they used to adjust it for some reason. I don't know what you need to adjust, but I guess they wanted a permanent socket on there so they could adjust it whenever they wanted to. So I'm gonna have to look into that and see what this is all about, but I will be cutting this thing off for sure, and if I need to adjust it, I'll do it the right way. So then we got the top of the electrical box here, and we have an electrical cord, a power outlet. So what I assume this is for is if you want to hook up some lights or something up here, which I think I probably will do. That'll be another future project, but I do want to get some lights in here. So there's a couple holes where I could put a couple lights, but I'm afraid if I did one light on each side, I would lose some lighting in the middle, and there's not really a good spot to run some type of rail lighting. So I don't know if you can put lights inside of this. Probably wouldn't be a good idea, but the reason why you want a light in here is so that when you're shearing, you have light down inside where the blade is. And if you have a marker or some type of a scribe line on your plate, you can see it. You can see it really well and make sure that you're cutting exactly where you want to cut. So nothing is more frustrating than getting plate that you expect to be with perfect cut or perfect cuts on them, and they're, you know, a quarter of an inch off. I've even had some that are a half of an inch off, and if you're, you know, you could probably make up a half inch one time, but if you do 2 or 3 half inches, you know, then you're up to an inch and a half that you gotta accommodate, and that's no fun. So all right, well, that's the top of this thing. Hope you enjoyed getting close and personal with my shear. I think I'm gonna name her Shear Pleasure. How's that sound? So, all right.